Thank you, viewers and learners, wherever you are. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about the laws of indices. Now, for us to talk about the laws of indices, first of all, we have to understand what are indices. Now, basically, the power to which a number is raised to is called an index. The plural form of it is indices. For example, if you have a number a raised to a certain power m, in this case, a is going to be our base and m is the power or the index to which a is raised to. So that power or the index, the plural of it is indices. Now, we are going to look deep into the laws of indices that govern sums to do with indices. Now, the first law is the law of summation of two powers. Now, if you have a number a raised to the power m multiplied by another number a raised to the power of n, this one translates to a raised to the power of m plus n. So this law is known as the sum of two powers, the summation of two powers. For example, if you have a number a raised to the power of 4 multiplied by another number a raised to the power of 3, this one translates to a raised to the power of 4 plus 3, which translates to a raised to the power of 7. So you can see we've added 4 plus 3 to get 7. So we can look at the proof for this sum. A raised to the power of 4 is the same as a multiplied by itself 4 times. So that one is a multiplied by a multiplied by a multiplied by a, then you multiplied by a raised to the power of 3, which is a multiplied by a 3 times. So that is multiplied by a multiplied by a multiplied by a. And you can see that we have 7s here. So this one translates to a raised to the power of 7. And that is the law of indices, law number 1, that deals with the sum of two powers. For example, if you have 4 squared or 4 raised to the power of 2, it is being multiplied by 4 raised to the power of 3. This one translates to 4 raised to the power of 2 plus 3, which translates to 4 raised to 5, and 4 raised to 5 translates to 1024. We're going to look the second law of indices. The second law of indices states that if you have a number a raised to the power of m, from it or divide with another number a raised to the power of n, this one translates to a raised to the power of m minus n. This law is known as the difference of two powers. For example, if you have a number a raised to 4 and you divide with a certain number also a raised to 2, this one translates to a raised to 4 minus 2, which translates to a squared, because 4 minus 2 is 2. So that brings us to a raised to the power of 2. We can look at the proof for this law, and we see that a multiplied by 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 a, that is a raised to 4, and we divide with a multiplied by a. So in this case, if we take the first a to cancel the first a, the second a to cancel the second a, so you can see we are remaining with the 2s, and these 2s, they translate to a raised to the power of 2. An example of it, if you have 3 raised to 5, you divide with 3 raised to 3. This one translates to 3 raised to 5 minus 3, and 3 raised to 5 minus 3 translates to 3 raised to 2, and 3 raised to 2 translates to 9. So that is the second law that deals with the difference of two powers. We can look at the third law, and the third law says if you have a number a raised to the power of m raised to the power of n, it's the same as a raised to the power of m multiplied by n. And this law is known as the product of two powers. For example, if you have a raised to 4 raised to 2, this one translates to a raised to 4 times 2, and a raised to 4 times 2, this one translates to a raised to 8. And in an example form, if you have 4 raised to 2, then raised to 3, this one is the same as 4 raised to 2 times 3, and 4 raised to 2 times 3 translates to 4 raised to 6, and 4 raised to 6 translates to 4096. That is the law of the product of two powers. Now, one thing you have to note is that for the above laws to hold, or for the above laws to be used, the base must be the same. The base must be the same. You must have a common base for the above laws of indices to hold. Like in the first law, the base is a, so it is common on both sides. For second law, the base is also a, it is common. So the laws hold only when there is a common base. Let us look at law number 4. And law number 4 says that any number raised to the power of 0 should give us 1. Any number raised to the power of 0 is 1. This law is known as the zero index. The zero index law. For example, if you have 4 raised to 0, it should translate to 1. If you have 26,000 raised to 0, this one also is 1. So any number raised to the power of 0 is 1. That is the zero index law. Now we are going to look at law number 5, which says that if you have any number raised to the power of negative n, any number raised to the power of a negative, then this one also is the inverse. So it translates to 1 over the number a raised to n. So the negative now is omitted. This one is known as the negative index. The negative index. For example, if you have 8 raised to the power of negative 2, is the same as 1 over 8 raised to 2, which translates to 1 over 8 raised to 2 translates to 64. Let us look at an alternative form of law number 5. Alternatively, if you have a number like 1 over a number a raised to negative n, it is the same as a raised to the power of n. So there's an alternative form of the negative index law rule. That is law number 5. Let us look at law number 6. And in law number 6, it is the fractional, deals with the fraction. And this one, if you have a number a raised to the power of m over n, it is the same as the root of a to order n raised to m. In this case, n is the order and m is the power. So this one is known as the fractional index law. We go ahead and look at it in form of an example. If you have 4 raised to a half, or 1 over 2, this one translates to the root of 4 to order 2 raised to 1, which translates to 2. Another example, if you have 27 raised to the power of 2 over 3, this one translates to the root of 27 to order 3 squared raised to 2. that is the cube root of 27 raised to 2, and cube root of 27 raised to 2 translates to 9. That is, the cube root of 27 is 3, and 3 raised to 2 gives us 9. So you can see all these are the laws of indices, the 6 laws of indices that I've delved deep into to try and explain them. Thank you very much for staying tuned, watching and learning. You can like and subscribe to my Facebook and YouTube channels. YouTube is on BC Online Math, and Facebook it is on BC Online Math. Thank you very much.